The Golden Cage. A mother's love never fades. My name is Sarah Chun, and I am 56 years old. I have lived through joy and sorrow, celebrated victories and endured losses. But nothing, absolutely nothing, could have prepared me for the night I watched my daughter's spirit break in front of 200 guests at the Wellington Charity Gala. They say a mother's instinct is never wrong. That invisible thread connecting heart to heart can sense danger before the mind understands it. I wish I had listened to that instinct sooner. I wish I had asked more questions when Emma first started changing. But mothers want to believe in their children's happiness. We want to trust that the people they love will protect them the way we always have. I was wrong. The perfect daughter. Emma was always extraordinary. From the moment she entered this world 28 years ago, she filled every room with light. As a child, she would spend hours drawing buildings and bridges, imagining cities where everyone felt safe and welcome. Her father, my late husband David, would watch her with such pride. Our Emma will change the world, he would say, his eyes shining with certainty. And she did try. Emma graduated top of her class from the Architecture Institute. At 24, she already had her own small firm. Her designs were innovative and beautiful, focusing on community spaces and affordable housing. She won awards. She made a difference. Then she met Marcus Wellington, the man who seemed perfect. Marcus came from old money, the kind of family whose name appears on hospital wings and university buildings. He was handsome, charming, and attentive. He pursued Emma with flowers and poetry, expensive dinners and weekend getaways. He made her feel like a princess. I should have seen the warning signs. The way he always needed to know where she was. How he would call 5 times during our lunch meetings. The subtle comments about her clothes being too revealing or her laugh being too loud. But he disguised it all as care, as love, as concern for her well-being. He just loves me so much, Mom, Emma would say, her eyes bright with belief. He worries about me. The wedding was magnificent. A garden ceremony with 500 guests, crystal chandeliers hanging from ancient oak trees, a 10-piece orchestra. David had passed away 2 years earlier, so I walked Emma down the aisle alone. I placed her hand in Marcus's and whispered the words every mother says. Take care of her. She is my whole world. I promise, Marcus replied, his smile perfect. It was the biggest lie I ever witnessed. The slow disappearance. The changes happened gradually, like winter slowly stealing away autumn. Emma stopped calling as often. When we did talk, our conversations became shorter, more careful. She stopped mentioning her work. She stopped talking about her dreams. How is the Richmond project going? I would ask about the community center she had been designing. Oh, I put that on hold, she would say vaguely. Marcus thinks I should focus on the home right now. Maybe start a family. But you worked so hard on that project. I know, Mom, but Marcus is right. There's time for work later. 6 months into the marriage, Emma closed her firm. She stopped meeting with clients. She stopped designing. The daughter who once dreamed of creating safe spaces for others had disappeared into Marcus's shadow. I visited their penthouse apartment in the city's most expensive district. Everything was white and glass and cold perfection. Nothing looked like Emma. The colorful throw pillows she loved were gone. Her books about sustainable architecture had vanished. Even her laughter seemed different, smaller, more restrained. Are you happy, sweetheart? I asked during one visit, watching her move nervously around the spotless kitchen. Of course, Mom, she replied too quickly. I have everything I need. But her eyes told a different story. The gala that changed everything. But he disguised it all as care, as love, as concern for her well-being. He just loves me so much, Mom, Emma would say, her eyes bright with belief. He worries about me. The wedding was magnificent. A garden ceremony with 500 guests, crystal chandeliers hanging from ancient oak trees, a 10-piece orchestra. David had passed away 2 years earlier, so I walked Emma down the aisle alone. I placed her hand in Marcus's and whispered the words every mother says. Take care of her. She is my whole world. I promise, Marcus replied, his smile perfect. It was the biggest lie I ever witnessed. The slow disappearance. The changes happened gradually, like winter slowly stealing away autumn. Emma stopped calling as often. When we did talk, our conversations became shorter, more careful. She stopped mentioning her work. She stopped talking about her dreams. How is the Richmond project going? I would ask about the community center she had been designing. Oh, I put that on hold, she would say vaguely. Marcus thinks I should focus on the home right now. Maybe start a family. But you worked so hard on that project. I know, Mom, but Marcus is right. There's time for work later. 6 months into the marriage, Emma closed her firm. She stopped meeting with clients. She stopped designing. The daughter who once dreamed of creating safe spaces for others had disappeared into Marcus's shadow. I visited their penthouse apartment in the city's most expensive district. Everything was white and glass and cold perfection. Nothing looked like Emma. The colorful throw pillows she loved were gone. Her books about sustainable architecture had vanished. Even her laughter seemed different, smaller, more restrained. Are you happy, sweetheart? I asked during one visit, watching her move nervously around the spotless kitchen. Of course, Mom, she replied too quickly. I have everything I need. But her eyes told a different story. The gala that changed everything. The Wellington family held an annual charity gala, a massive event that raised millions for various causes. This year, Emma had been helping to organize it. She called me 2 weeks before, her voice containing a spark I had not heard in months. Mom, I designed something special for the event, she said excitedly. The stage backdrop features a display of community projects that need funding. Marcus agreed to let me showcase some of my old portfolio work too. Pride swelled in my chest. That sounds wonderful, darling. Will you come? Please? I need you there. I would not miss it for anything. The night of the gala arrived with autumn rain and cold wind. I wore my navy dress, the one David had loved. I carried my mother's pearl clutch, my connection to the strong women who came before me. I arrived at the Grand Hotel ballroom to find it transformed into an elegant wonderland. Crystal chandeliers cast dancing light across marble floors. Fresh flowers covered every surface. A string quartet played soft melodies. Guests in designer gowns and expensive suits mingled with champagne glasses, their conversations a blend of business deals and social gossip. I found Emma near the stage, wearing a stunning emerald dress that brought out her eyes. For a moment, she looked like my daughter again, confident and radiant. Mom! She hugged me tightly, and I felt her trembling slightly. Thank you for coming. You look beautiful, sweetheart. Do you really think so? Marcus chose the dress. He said the blue one I wanted was too plain. A small warning bell rang in my mind, but I pushed it aside. You look perfect, I assured her. Marcus appeared, impeccably dressed in a custom tuxedo. He nodded at me coolly. Sarah, good of you to come. I would not miss supporting Emma's work. His smile tightened. Emma's work is supporting me now. This is a Wellington family event. Before I could respond, someone called Marcus away for photos. Emma's shoulders relaxed the moment he left. Are you all right? I asked quietly. Yes, just nervous about the presentation. I want everything to be perfect. When perfection shattered. The evening progressed with speeches and donations, auctions and entertainment. Finally, Emma's presentation arrived. She stepped onto the stage, and despite her nervousness, she began to speak with the passion I remembered. Community spaces are the heart of any city, Emma explained, her voice growing stronger. They bring people together, create opportunities, and build futures. Tonight, I want to share some designs that could transform neighborhoods. As she spoke, images of her work appeared on the massive screens, beautiful renderings of parks, libraries, and community centers. The crowd murmured with appreciation. I saw Emma's confidence growing with each slide. Then Marcus stood up from our table. Emma, he called out, his voice cutting through her presentation. What is this? Emma froze.
I'm.
I'm presenting the community projects like we discussed. We discussed you helping with the event, not showcasing your old work. This is embarrassing. The ballroom fell silent. 200 guests watched as Marcus walked toward the stage. Emma's face drained of color. "Marcus, please," she whispered into the microphone, her voice carrying across the room. "This is important." "What's important is not making me look foolish," Marcus replied, loud enough for everyone to hear. "You were supposed to thank the sponsors, not promote yourself." I thought. "You never think, Emma. That's always been your problem." I watched my daughter shrink before my eyes. Her shoulders curved inward. Her head dropped. The confident woman presenting moments ago disappeared, replaced by someone small and terrified. Marcus reached the stage. In front of 200 witnesses, he grabbed Emma's wrist and pulled her toward the microphone. "Apologize," he commanded. "Tell everyone you got confused." "I'm sorry," Emma whispered, tears beginning to stream down her face. "I misunderstood. I apologize for the confusion." "Louder."
I'm sorry.
Her voice cracked with pain and humiliation. The guests shifted uncomfortably. Some looked away. Others whispered behind their hands. But no one intervened. No one stopped it. I stood up, my chair scraping loudly against the floor. But before I could move, Marcus's mother, Victoria Wellington, placed her hand on my arm. "Sit down, Sarah," she said coldly. "This is a family matter. That's my daughter up there. And she's a Wellington now. She needs to learn." "Learn what?" "To be humiliated." Victoria's eyes were ice. "She needs to learn her place. Marcus is doing what's necessary. My son is making her a proper wife." Those words hit me like physical blows. I looked around the table at Marcus's father, his brothers, his sisters. They all watched with approval or indifference. Not one person looked troubled by what was happening. Marcus's father, Richard Wellington, actually chuckled. "The boy's right to be firm. Women today forget the natural order. Emma's lucky to have someone who cares enough to correct her." I felt sick. On stage, Marcus had released Emma's wrist, but as she tried to step back, I saw it. Her sleeve had ridden up slightly, revealing dark bruises circling her arm like a bracelet. Purple and yellow marks, the fingerprints of someone's grip. My blood turned to ice. The truth revealed. The presentation ended in awkward silence. Emma practically ran off the stage toward the restroom. I followed, my heart pounding. I found her in the elegant bathroom, leaning against the sink, sobbing silently. "Emma?" I approached carefully, as if she were a frightened bird. She jumped, then tried to compose herself. "Mom, I'm fine. Just embarrassed. Let me see your arm." "What?" "No, Mom. It's nothing." "Emma." My voice was firm. "Show me your arm." Her eyes filled with fresh tears. Slowly, trembling, she pulled up both sleeves. The bruises covered her wrists, her forearms, some fresh, others fading. Finger marks, grip marks, the undeniable evidence of violence. "Oh my God!" I breathed. "It's not what you think," Emma said quickly, the words automatic. "I bruise easily."
I'm clumsy.
I fell. "You didn't fall." "Mom, please don't." "How long?" My voice cracked. "How long has this been happening?" She slumped against the counter, defeated. 6 months after the wedding. Started small. Push here, a grab there. Then it got worse. But he always apologizes after, Mom. He brings flowers. He cries. He promises to change. Has he changed? Silence answered my question. "Emma, you need to leave him." "I can't." She shook her head desperately. "You don't understand. He controls everything. The apartment is in his name. My car, my credit cards, everything. He made me close my firm. I have no money of my own. Where would I go? You come home to me. And then what? He'll find me. He always finds me when I try to leave." Those words chilled me to the bone. "You've tried before?" "Twice. Both times he found me within hours. The last time, Her voice dropped to a whisper. The last time was bad, Mom. Really bad. I can't go through that again. I pulled my daughter into my arms, holding her as she sobbed. Over her shoulder, I saw our reflection in the bathroom mirror. Two women, one broken and one determined. In that moment I made a silent vow. I would not let Marcus Wellington destroy my daughter. The confrontation. We returned to the ballroom to find the evening winding down. Marcus stood with his family, laughing loudly with business associates. When he saw Emma, his expression shifted to something I had not noticed before. Cold calculation disguised as concern. "There you are, darling," he said, approaching us. I was worried. "Are you feeling better?" "Yes," Emma replied automatically. "Good. We should go. It's been a long night." His hand clamped around her upper arm, making her wince. Only I noticed. "Actually," I intervened, "I was hoping Emma could stay with me tonight. We have not had quality time together in months." Marcus's smile never wavered, but his eyes turned dangerous. "That's sweet, Sarah, but Emma is tired. She needs to rest at home." "I think Emma should decide what she needs. Emma is my wife. I decide what's best for her. She's my daughter. And she's a Wellington now." Victoria Wellington joined us, her voice sharp with authority. "Sarah, you really must learn boundaries. Emma belongs with her husband. Emma belongs to herself," I replied firmly. Richard Wellington laughed, a cruel sound. "Still living in your feminist fantasy world, are you, Sarah? Marriage means unity. Emma made her choice. She's part of our family now. Being part of a family doesn't mean losing yourself. It means knowing your role," Victoria stated coldly. "Something you clearly never learned. No wonder David died so young. The stress of dealing with a woman like you probably killed him." The cruelty of that statement stole my breath. Emma gasped. Even Marcus looked momentarily surprised. "How dare you?" I whispered. "I speak truth. Women like you destroy families with your independence and opinions. Thank goodness Marcus is strong enough to guide Emma properly." I looked at Emma, saw the pain and shame in her eyes, saw how small she had made herself. I saw my beautiful, brilliant daughter drowning, and her husband's family was holding her head underwater while calling it love. "Emma," I said clearly, "come home with me. Right now. You don't have to live like this." For one moment, one beautiful moment, I saw hope flicker in her eyes. She looked at me, then at Marcus, then at the entire Wellington family surrounding us like predators. I can't, Mom," she whispered.
I'm sorry.
"I'm so sorry." Marcus smiled triumphantly. "Come along, darling. Let's go home." He led her away, his hand possessive on her back. The Wellington family dispersed, leaving me standing alone in that glittering ballroom, watching my daughter walk back into her cage. But I had seen the bruises. I had heard the truth. And I had made my decision. This was not over. Not by a long way. A mother's promise. I drove home through rain-slicked streets, my mind racing. I thought about the bruises, the fear in Emma's eyes, the Wellington family's casual cruelty. I thought about my late husband David and what he would say if he could see his daughter now. At home, I made tea that I did not drink. I sat at my kitchen table with my mother's pearl clutch in front of me, thinking about the women in my family. My mother who survived an abusive marriage. My grandmother who fought for the right to divorce. The strength in my bloodline. I would not let Emma become another statistic, another woman lost to violence. I pulled out my phone and began making notes. Dates, times, observations. The bruises I had seen. The public humiliation at the gala. Emma's admission that she had tried to leave twice before. The Wellington family's attitude toward abuse. Then I started researching. Domestic violence laws. Restraining orders. Shelters. Legal aid services. I compiled a folder of information. Resources Emma would need when she was ready. Because she would be ready someday. I had to believe that. I had to believe the strong, brave daughter I raised was still inside, waiting for the right moment to break free. My phone buzzed with a text message from Emma. Mom, I'm sorry about tonight. Marcus is right. I shouldn't have showcased my work without better clearance. It was my fault. Please don't worry about me. I'm fine. I love you. Every word was wrong. The phrasing, the tone, the message itself. I could practically hear Marcus dictating it. I replied simply, I love you too, sweetheart. My door is always open. Always. The response came immediately. Thank you, Mom. I know. I stared at those words, reading between the lines. I know could mean so many things. I know you love me. I know you are worried. I know you understand. I know I am trapped. Outside, the rain continued falling. Inside, I made myself another promise. I would document everything. I would prepare everything. And when my daughter was ready to run, I would be ready to catch her. Because that is what mothers do. We never give up. We never stop fighting. We never abandon our children, no matter how dark the night becomes. The war for my daughter's freedom had begun. And the Wellington family was about to learn that a mother's love is the most powerful force in the universe. Even if it takes time, even if it takes pain, even if it takes everything I have, I will save my daughter. Part 2, Breaking the Chains. The investigation begins. The morning after the gala, I woke with a purpose burning in my chest. I had spent years being polite, being quiet, trusting that things would work out. Those days were over. My daughter needed me to be strong, to be smart, to be relentless. I started with research. I spent hours at my computer, learning everything I could about Marcus Wellington. What I discovered made my blood run cold. Marcus had been engaged twice before Emma. I found the information buried in old society column archives and social media posts that people thought had been deleted. The first engagement ended suddenly with no explanation. The second fiancée, a woman named Jessica Monroe, had disappeared from public life entirely. I needed to find these women. It took 3 days of searching, calling, and following digital trails, but I found Jessica living in Portland, working as a graphic designer under her maiden name. I called her, my heart pounding. Hello. Her voice was cautious. Jessica Monroe? My name is Sarah Chun. I know this is strange, but I need to talk to you about Marcus Wellington. The silence that followed was deafening. Then, quietly, he's hurt someone else, hasn't he? My daughter. God. I'm so sorry. She paused. Can you come to Portland? I can't talk about this over the phone. I booked a flight that same day. Jessica's story. We met at a small coffee shop near the waterfront. Jessica was petite with short dark hair and eyes that looked older than her years. She ordered tea with shaking hands. I was engaged to Marcus 4 years ago, she began without preamble. We dated for 8 months. He was perfect at first. Romantic, attentive, generous. Then we got engaged, and everything changed. How? I asked gently. He started controlling everything. What I wore, who I talked to, where I went. He said it was because he loved me so much, because he wanted to protect me. Her voice cracked. Then came the first time he hit me. I had lunch with a male colleague from work. Marcus saw us through the restaurant window. That night, he broke my wrist. I felt sick. What did you do? I tried to leave. He found me at my sister's house. He dragged me back. The abuse got worse. Much worse. She pulled up her sleeve, showing me a long scar running down her forearm. He did this with a broken wine bottle when I said I wanted to postpone the wedding. Jessica, I'm so sorry. His family knew. They all knew. His mother told me that Wellington men have strong personalities, that I needed to be more submissive. His father said I was lucky Marcus wanted to marry me at all. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I tried to get a restraining order. The Wellingtons have lawyers, connections, money. They made me look unstable. They spread rumors that I was mentally ill, that I was lying for attention. How did you escape? I faked a suicide attempt. I swallowed pills, but not enough to actually die. Just enough to get hospitalized. While I was there, I told the psychiatric team everything. They helped me create an escape plan. When I was released, I went straight to the airport with just my purse and flew here. Changed my name legally. Started over. And Marcus. He moved on to his next victim within 3 months. I heard through mutual friends that he got engaged again, but that ended too. Then I stopped following. It was too painful. She looked at me with desperate eyes. Sarah, your daughter is in terrible danger. Marcus doesn't just hurt women. He destroys them, and he always escalates. I need evidence, documentation, anything that could help. Jessica reached into her bag and pulled out a thick envelope. I kept copies of everything. Hospital records, police reports that went nowhere, photographs, text messages. I couldn't bring myself to throw them away. Maybe I always knew someone would need them someday. I took the envelope with trembling hands. Thank you. Thank you so much. Save your daughter, Sarah. Save her before it's too late. Building the case. I returned home with Jessica's evidence and immediately called a lawyer specializing in domestic violence cases. Her name was Rebecca Torres, a fierce woman in her 40s who had built her career defending abuse victims. This is good, Rebecca said, reviewing Jessica's documents in her office. This establishes a pattern of behavior, but we need current evidence involving your daughter. Do you have anything? Photographs of her bruises from the gala. Witness statements from people who saw Marcus humiliate her publicly. That's a start. But Emma needs to file a police report. She needs to press charges. Without her cooperation, we can't move forward legally. She's too afraid. I understand. But Sarah, legally, I can't force a victim to leave an abuser. Emma has to make that choice herself. I left Rebecca's office frustrated but not defeated. If I couldn't force Emma to leave, I would make sure she had everything she needed when she was ready. The secret meetings. Over the next few weeks, I found ways to see Emma alone. It wasn't easy. Marcus monitored her phone, controlled her schedule, and often refused to let her leave the apartment without him. But I was patient and persistent. I would wait near the grocery store I knew Emma visited on Tuesday mornings. I would coincidentally bump into her at the park where she took short walks. Each meeting was brief, but I used every second. Emma, I've been documenting everything. I told her during one encounter at a bookstore. I have evidence, resources, a plan. When you're ready, I can help you get out safely. Mom, please stop, she whispered, looking around nervously. If Marcus finds out you're following me, it will make things worse. Things can't get much worse, sweetheart. Yes, they can. You don't understand what he's capable of. But I saw something in her eyes that gave me hope. Beneath the fear, there was a tiny spark of defiance. The Emma I knew was still in there, fighting to survive. The pregnancy discovery. 2 months after the gala, Emma called me from a blocked number. Mom! Her voice was barely a whisper. Emma, where are you? In a pharmacy bathroom. I only have a few minutes. She was crying.
Mom, I'm pregnant.
My heart stopped. Oh, sweetheart. I took 3 tests. They're all positive. I don't know what to do. Marcus said he doesn't want children yet. He's going to be so angry. Emma, listen to me carefully. Do not tell him yet. Not until we have a plan. I can't hide this forever. I know. But we need time. Can you come to my house? Today? Right now? I can't. He tracks my car. He monitors my credit cards. He knows everywhere I go. Then I'll come get you. Tell me where you are.
No, Mom.
If he finds out, he'll hurt you too. I can't risk that. Emma, I have to go. He's calling. I love you, Mom. She hung up. I tried calling back, but the line was dead. That night I barely slept. My daughter was pregnant and trapped with a violent man. The danger had just multiplied exponentially. The midnight call. 3 weeks later, at 2 in the morning, my phone rang. I jolted awake, my heart racing. The screen showed Emma's number. Hello. Heavy breathing. Then, Mom, I need help. I was already out of bed, pulling on clothes. Where are you? Home. Marcus is asleep. Mom, I told him about the baby tonight. He was so angry. He grabbed me, pushed me against the wall. I'm bleeding a little. I'm scared for the baby. Call 911 right now. I can't. He'll wake up. He'll kill me, Mom. I know he will. Then leave. Walk out the door right now. He locks the doors at night. Takes the keys to bed with him.
I'm trapped.
My mind raced. Can you get to a window? A fire escape. We're on the 15th floor. Think, Sarah, think. The doorman. Can you call down to the lobby? Marcus knows all the building staff. They do whatever he says. Emma, listen to me. Tomorrow Marcus will go to work. Right? Yes. He leaves at 7. The moment he's gone, you pack a bag with essentials only. You call me, and I'll be there in 10 minutes. We'll leave together. I know a safe place. What if he comes back? He won't. Tomorrow is Thursday. He has morning meetings that last until noon. You've told me that before. Silence. Then, okay. I'll try. Not try, sweetheart. Do it. Pack tonight if you can. Hide the bag. Be ready. I'm so scared, Mom. I know, baby. But I promise you, tomorrow your life changes. Tomorrow you take it back. After we hung up, I called Rebecca Torres, despite the hour. Sarah? She answered groggily. Emma's ready to leave. Tomorrow morning. I need everything prepared. Rebecca was immediately alert. Okay, good. Bring her straight to my office. We'll file for an emergency protective order immediately. I'll have the paperwork ready. Thank you. Sarah, be careful. The most dangerous time for an abuse victim is when they try to leave. I know, but knowing didn't make me any less terrified. The escape. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. I packed my car with supplies. Water bottles, snacks, a first aid kit, blankets, a burner phone. I plotted the fastest route to Emma's building and 3 alternate escape routes. I texted Rebecca every step of my preparations. At 6:30 a.m., I was parked 2 blocks from Emma's building, waiting. My phone was in my hand, volume at maximum. At 7:15 it rang. He's gone, Emma whispered. I watched him drive away. I'm 2 minutes away. Get your bag and go to the lobby.
Mom, I'm shaking.
I can barely walk. You can do this. You're stronger than you know. I'm coming, baby. I drove to her building's entrance, my heart pounding so hard I thought it might burst. Emma emerged from the lobby, wearing sunglasses despite the overcast morning, carrying a single small backpack. She looked fragile, frightened, like she might shatter. She got in the car, and I immediately drove away. We did it, I breathed. We did it, Emma. She started crying, great heaving sobs that shook her whole body. I drove with one hand, holding hers with the other. You're safe now. Promise. You're safe. The retaliation. We went straight to Rebecca's office. Emma filed for an emergency protective order. She gave her statement to the police. She showed them the bruises, some fresh from the night before. She told them everything. The protective order was granted immediately. Marcus was served papers at his office that afternoon. And that's when everything exploded. Marcus's lawyers descended like a storm. They filed counterclaims. They accused Emma of mental instability, of making false allegations, of trying to steal Wellington money. They painted her as a gold digger, a liar, a scorned woman seeking revenge. But worse than the legal attacks was the public campaign. Within 24 hours, stories appeared on gossip websites and social media. Troubled woman accuses prominent businessman. Wellington heir victim of false abuse claims. Ungrateful. Wife attacks generous husband. They leaked fake psychiatric evaluations. They found old photos of Emma at parties and claimed she had alcohol problems. They interviewed friends who said Emma was manipulative and attention-seeking. The character assassination was brutal and efficient. Emma watched it all unfold from my house, where she was staying. She sat in my guest room, scrolling through her phone, watching her reputation destroyed in real time. They're going to win, aren't they? She said flatly. The Wellingtons always win. No, I said firmly. Not this time. Mom, look at this. She showed me an article calling her mentally unstable, featuring quotes from a doctor she'd never seen. They're making me look crazy. Who's going to believe me? The truth will come out. When? After they've destroyed me completely? I had no answer, because she was right. The Wellingtons were powerful, connected, and ruthless. They had money, influence, and no conscience. But I had something too. I had Jessica's evidence. I had documentation of Marcus's pattern. And I had a secret weapon I hadn't told Emma about yet. The unexpected ally. The next morning, there was a knock at my door. I opened it to find a man in his 30s, well-dressed, with kind eyes and an uncertain expression. Mrs. Chan? My name is Dr. David Park. I'm Marcus Wellington's former therapist. May I speak with you? I let him in, curious and cautious. I saw the news about Emma's accusations, he began, sitting in my living room. I violated about 100 ethics codes by coming here, but I couldn't stay silent. Marcus Wellington is dangerous. Clinically, dangerously violent. My pulse quickened. You treated him? For 6 months, 2 years ago. His family forced him into anger management after the incident with Jessica Monroe. He manipulated every session, showed no real remorse, and demonstrated textbook narcissistic personality disorder with violent tendencies.